Minnesota's new #1 overall pick, J.J. McCarthy, arrived in Eagan with lofty expectations after back-to-back national titles at Michigan. Yet early camp footage shows hesitation in his drops, an arm not quite unleashing, and timing with his receivers just a tick slow. He's coming off an elbow injury that cost him spring practice, and while rebuilding strength, he's battling the classic rookie hurdle, translating college rhythm into NFL precision. Enter the whispers of Kirk Cousins, now 35 and fresh off an $180 million deal in 2021. The same Vikings brass that landed Cousins via trade in 2018 maintains a strong personal bond. Kevin O'Connell, his former OC in Washington, still texts him gifs of comeback wins. If Cousins took a veteran game manager role, Minnesota could install a two-quarterback system, Cousins handling the early downs, play action, and clock control scripts, while McCarthy absorbs the offense from the sideline, then rotates in on third down and 2-minute drills. Such a plan mirrors the strategy with Nick Mullins in 2022, bringing in a serviceable veteran to mentor the rookie. Mullins, with a career 7.1 yards per attempt clip, provided 7 starts over 3 seasons, steadying the ship when injuries hit. Cousins, with 4,000-yard seasons in 6 straight years, could offer a higher pedigree, better disguise on RPOs, and credible deep ball touch. Elements McCarthy is still fine-tuning. Cap-wise, a midseason trade for Cousins at a reduced salary could cost the Vikings a third-round pick, plus offset savings if Washington retains part of his 2025 salary. In return, Minnesota gains instant insurance. If McCarthy's elbow flares or timing lags linger into September, the Vikings avoid a 4-1 start debacle and preserve playoff hopes. Conversely, if McCarthy shows flashes of his college poise, anticipation of the blitz, rhythm on the mesh point, pocket resilience, Cousins becomes the backup, smoothing the transition without overshadowing the rookie's development. From McCarthy's perspective, this isn't a slight, it's a masterclass. He'd watch Cousins' pre-snap adjustments, learn the cadence that freezes linebackers, and study how a veteran sets his feet under duress. Practicing beside one of the league's premier pre-snap commanders could shave months off McCarthy's learning curve. Critics will argue this undercuts McCarthy's confidence. Yet in today's NFL, a dual QB approach is far less stigmatized. The Eagles leaned on Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew in 2022. The Giants split reps between Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor in 2020. When managed correctly, it's a safety net, not a crutch. For general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Maurice, the calculus is clear. McCarthy's ceiling as a franchise cornerstone is tantalizingly high, but his floor this autumn remains unproven after injury. Bringing in Cousins with his durable track record, only missing 2 games since 2015, solves the what-if that keeps fans up at night. A mid-August announcement would reassure an impatient fan base and allow both QBs equal seat time in the walkthroughs. Ultimately, the Vikings must decide. Trust entirely in McCarthy's rookie progression and weather inevitable growing pains, or inject veteran stability by reacquiring the man they once dubbed Mr. Clutch. Either path carries risk. But if McCarthy's inexperience already shows cracks, Cousins offers a rare chance to stack the deck, protecting this season while McCarthy's star continues its inevitable rise. Minnesota Vikings considering Kirk Cousins to shore up QB room as J.J. McCarthy works through growing pains. As the Minnesota Vikings open training camp, all eyes have been on rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy. Drafted number 10 overall out of Michigan, McCarthy has the pedigree and talent to become the franchise's next long-term signal caller. But a season-ending meniscus tear cost him all of last year's action, and as practices progress, the leap from college star to NFL starter has proven steeper than some expected. McCarthy's camp struggles are understandable, but noticeable. Recovery from injury. McCarthy missed every meaningful rep of his rookie year while rehabbing a torn meniscus. Even elite college quarterbacks need live reps to iron out timing and pocket presence at the pro level. Rookie growing pains. Through padded practices against Brian Flores' aggressive defense, McCarthy has shown flashes, pocket mobility, anticipation throws, and improvisational flair, but also bouts of indecision under pressure and occasional accuracy lapses. While it's far too early to pan McCarthy's prospects, the Vikings brass recognizes the importance of having veteran insurance behind their 22-year-old rookie. That's why multiple reports this week have linked Minnesota to one of McCarthy's most familiar faces, former Vikings starter Kirk Cousins. Open quote, "If they found something they liked that worked in a trade, I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to make something happen," Star Tribune reporter Ben Gosling said. Close quote, "Why Cousins makes sense as a bridge or mentor. 1. Proven competency. Over 8 seasons with Minnesota, Cousins compiled a 67-51 regular season mark, 4 Pro Bowl nods, and 3 4,000-yard campaigns. His familiarity with head coach Kevin O'Connell's system and the Twin Cities locker room would allow for an immediate, seamless integration. 2. Veteran leadership. Cousins has long been praised for his professionalism and preparation. He could shepherd McCarthy through the day-to-day grind of the NFL, offering guidance on reading defenses, study habits, and pregame routines. 3. Short-term, low-risk option. At 35, Cousins is seeking a 2 or 3 year deal worth in the neighborhood of $30 million per season, far less than the blockbuster contracts going to younger QBs, but still enough to ensure Minnesota has a reliable fallback if McCarthy hits a rookie year wall. Potential trade scenarios. Detroit return draft pick. Cousins has 1 year left on his contract, but could agree to restructure. The Lions, holding his rights, might be willing to swap a mid-round draft pick for salary cap relief and a shot at developing one of their younger QBs behind Dan Campbell's rebuilt offense. Free agent signing. If Minnesota can't engineer a trade, Cousins could simply hit free agency. His relationship with O'Connell and comfort in the Twin Cities would make Minnesota his most attractive landing spot. What this means for McCarthy and the Vikings. Competition fuels growth. Having Cousins in the building would create a healthy competitive environment, pushing McCarthy in practice and game prep without jeopardizing Minnesota's season if the rookie stumbles. Cap flexibility. A short-term deal keeps the Vikings' future open, allowing them to pivot to a long-term solution, whether that's McCarthy drafting again or trading, once they've fully evaluated this season. Fan and media reactions. While some critics might view a move for Cousins as lacking faith in McCarthy, most understand the value of experienced depth at the game's most important position. In the unpredictable world of the NFL, having insurance at quarterback is rarely a mistake. As J.J. McCarthy continues to acclimate, the Vikings' exploration of Kirk Cousins offers a sensible path, honoring their commitment to youth while ensuring Minnesota remains competitive week in and week out. Only time will tell if the team ultimately makes the call, but in today's win-now climate, having a veteran like Cousins on hand could prove invaluable. Minnesota's new number 1 overall pick, J.J. McCarthy, arrived in Eagan with lofty expectations after back-to-back national titles at Michigan. Yet early camp footage shows hesitation in his drops, an arm not quite unleashing, and timing with his receivers just a tick slow. He's coming off an elbow injury that cost him spring practice, and while rebuilding strength, he's battling the classic rookie hurdle, translating college rhythm into NFL precision. Enter the whispers of Kirk Cousins, now 35 and fresh off a $180 million deal in 2021. The same Vikings brass that landed Cousins via trade in 2018 maintains a strong personal bond. Kevin O'Connell, his former OC in Washington, still texts him gifs of comeback wins. If Cousins took a veteran game manager role, Minnesota could install a 2-quarterback system, Cousins handling the early downs